Okay, I'm going to start doing the sock video, the sock cap. It's going to be exactly this, the brim is going to be exactly like the bee bonnet, only I'm using the plush fleece. I did this not as wide. I went about, for the smaller dolls, I went about 1 3/4, 1 1/2. So your total would be 3 inches up with your batting in the middle. Turn it, serge it, and this will be where I'm going to insert the sock for the top. Now as far as the, I ran out of this size in the white. All I have left is the white or the green because I bought this I bought the whole set. So I can either go with these smaller pom-poms or wait and buy another one of these. But this is seasonal, so I can either put one of these little ones on instead of the big one, which is probably what I'll do. I went and I bought or I could take it off of this one right here because this is a nice size for these 15-inch dolls. This is what I was talking about as far as not making your tail so long on these hats because they really look kind of funny. Let me see if I can get this on her head. See what I mean? To have this hat this long on this size doll, it just doesn't look good. So I might just take this white one off of this one and make this smaller and maybe put a big one on here. I bought the plain white at Walmart because you can buy them all by themselves. But look at the difference in color. It's almost got a yellow tinge to it. This was the Christmas set. And see, you can even see where there's red from one of the other pom-poms. But it's so much wider than these other ones. I mean, I guess if they're a distance enough, you won't be able to tell. But I sure like these Christmas ones much better. Okay, so anyway, there's that. Okay, so let's get started on these socks. Put these back in the bag. But because I am using green, I could use green and white. That would be okay, but it would be definitely a Christmas winter cap. Whereas with the design on there, you can wear it all month long. Okay, so first of all, let's get our socks out. Well, let me get some scissors here and cut all the plastic off. I'm just going to do the same thing so they both have a bonnet, hat that matches their socks. Okay, so that's basically what all your socks look like when you get them. You just cut the plastics off. Okay, so first thing you want to do is to decide how high you want your socks. So what I do is I just cut right here across. And then when you're making your socks, you can determine if you want the thigh high or if you want the knee high. You can get, it looks like 2 different kinds of socks on here. But you can even go even lower. You can go down to the ankle socks. So the first cut you want to make is right across the heel. So cut the heel off. And this is the part you're going to use for your socks. So you need both tops for the hat. So let's just cut that off. Okay, so now we've got 2 bottoms and these are the 2 tops. So these will be our 2 pair of socks for whatever. Okay, so now you've got this. So what you want to do is you want to cut off the rest of this toe piece. So just cut it completely off. Okay, you can make it even all the way across. But whatever you make even, make sure it's the same on the other sock. Because that's going to be the bottom of your bonnet, your hat. Okay, see how you've got this here on the sock? What you want to do is you want to cut on this side all the way to the tip. So let me make sure I'm recording this. Take your scissors and go all the way to the tip. Okay, same thing on the other side. You're going to open that up and cut all the way to the tip. Alright, so now you can open it up a little bit. If you want to, you can trim some of this down so it'll open flatter. Okay, so just cut it. You can do it that way too. Either way will work, because you're going to sew all the way around these slices here. Okay, so you can go ahead and open that up. You can even go a little bit. If it's not laying flat, just cut it until it does lay flat. Okay, so now it's flat. So let's just cut these down a little bit. We'll cut here, and we will cut here. Okay, so now we've got two flat pieces. Close enough. You can press them if you want to. Alright, so what you want to do is you want to put them face right sides together. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to match the designs up as best we can. So because we are going to be going into like this and then like this, you want to sort of line them up towards the center. Okay, so there's that one. If you don't have a design, it's not as important, but if you do have a design, you want to get as close to possible to your stripes. The reason for that is so it looks nicer when it's the final product. Now I switched my needle over to a jersey needle so I don't make any holes in this sock. Okay, so the other side. Now I'm going to make this sock the width of this, and then determine if I need to take in the sides to fit it in the bonnet. In the brim part. So see, here's this, and it's actually almost perfect. It's almost a perfect fit. I don't remember doing anything but putting 1/4 inch seams on there, and it fit almost perfect in here. So even if this was a little bit bigger, you can always stretch the socks on the bottom, because you can stretch it to fit. Same thing if it's too wide, you can either take in your side seams, or you can just make your side seams wider, so this is less across. Okay, so let's just go back to where we were here. We're going to go up to where the head of the sock is here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to do a quick baste and see how it looks. Okay, I'm going to try and match these up here because I'm going to be curving in here. I tried to get my chalk out so I could chalk it for you to show you what I mean by how you're going to sew it. But this chalk isn't transferring to this sock material. Okay, so that's it. We've got that, so we're going to sew here, here, and here. Okay, so I'm just going to do it on a baste, so we can look and see what it looks like. So even though it's on a baste and it's not a stretch stitch, it doesn't matter because we're just doing it to see what it's going to look like. So let's just go up here. I'm on my basting stitch. I want to go to a I'm going to go ahead and just use my regular stitch and go to 5. Okay, you might have to start a little bit in so your thread catches. So let's just get going here. And we're just going to go into the edge. We want to make sure we clear this cut we made here. And go as top to the toe as we can get. Okay, if it's not perfect, we can always come back and fix it. Not a big deal. see how we did. Okay, I'm going to get rid of some of this bulk. Okay, and there is our hat. So you want to go with the side that looks the best for your front. And now I'm going to go on my serger and I'm going to serge it. But I just broke the needle on my serger, so I have to get my manual out and figure out how to change the needle. So that's it for the cap. So we're just going to do the same thing we did on the other one. We're going to put the hat in like we want it to be. So, but because you have two seams on the side, you're going to take the worst side of the sock that you don't like and make that the back of the hat. So you're going to just put it on here, and oops, I went the wrong way. This is the seam. Okay, and then you're just going to pin it. Just like we did on the other one. And it'll have two side seams, and you're going to sew here, and then when you flip it to the front, fold your brim in half, you'll end up with your seam in the right location. You're just going to do a couple, you're going to sew here like this, turn it, put your seam in the middle of the brim, and then you're just going to tack it down in a few places, and that's the end of that's as far as that's what that is. That's how it turns out. Now, as far as I said on these little dolls, the thinner the brim is, the cuter they'll look when they're done. But that'll be that. Wonder what it'll look like if I put a green. It won't be too bad. You can get away with that on a Christmas one. But that's it. That's how you do the sock ones. Now, as far as these ones, the easiest way to do it is just turn them inside out. Decide which side you want. What do you want showing in the front? Now, if I was doing this, I would say I wanted I want this pretty green in the front. So I would make sure that when I sew this, I would have that on the edge of one, so I'll know that my seam's in the back. So what I would do is I would take my sewing machine and I'd stitch right down the center, and then I put my make another seam a quarter of an inch away from the center seam, and then I would taper it off at the bottom to make the socks. Let's see if I can show you on these. And that way you can get two pairs of socks for one hat out of these. Okay. So what you want to do is, this will be half of this. So you're going to sew a seam down the center, and then you're going to go a quarter of an inch right next to it. I haven't serged this yet because I broke my needle. And then you're just going to go right down the center and decide what size sock you want, anklet, knee high, thigh high, and then you're just going to taper off on the bottom. See, I just tapered off like this. I just went down and off. And the girls will be having shoes on, so you really can't see that little fluff right here on the front. I mean, it doesn't on some socks, it'll really be obvious, but on others it won't. Like here, sometimes you'll get that little fluffiness here, but on this pair of socks it's not working out that way. So once I put some shoes on them, they'll be fine. And then their hats will go on. And they're all set. So, sock cap. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Have a good one.